Once sample prep is complete, you can move on to the PCR. The PCR area is completely isolated from both the sample prep area and the hybridization area to prevent any contamination. Refer to the loci enhancement PCR sheet in the quick guide and your loci enhancement PCR worksheet. To begin loci PCR, refer to the table on the worksheet to pipette the appropriate volumes. From the Roche kit, you will need the following reagents: the 10x PCR buffer, the magnesium chloride, the DNTP mix, and the Fast Start TAC. The PathogenDx kit provides BSA, primer set 1 for bacteria, primer set 1 for fungal, and a positive control. Each reagent should be vortexed and placed in a centrifuge and briefly spun to pull any liquid down to the bottom. Once this is completed, please refer to the guide in the worksheet and add the appropriate volume to a tube, one for bacteria and one for fungal, to make the master mix. Before beginning, ensure that 270 microliters of molecular biology grade water is added to your BSA and mixed appropriately. This creates the working stock of BSA and must be done prior to starting PCR. Continuing to follow the worksheet, pipette the appropriate master mix into each well, making sure that bacterial PCR master mix is added to the wells designated for bacterial samples, and the fungal PCR master mix is added to the wells designated for the fungal samples. Once the loci PCR master mix has been added to the plate, return to the sample prep area where you will add 1 microliter from each sample into the designated well. Make sure to check each tip to ensure that 1 microliter has been drawn up. Pipette up and down to mix, being careful to avoid any contamination between wells. Once you have added all of your samples, use a PCR seal to seal each plate. Ensure the seal is tight before moving into the post-PCR area. Once the sample has been added to your loci PCR plate and the seal has been applied, move to the post-PCR or hybridization room. Each plate must be briefly centrifuged before being placed in the thermocycler. Once the plate has been centrifuged, carefully remove, open the lid to your thermocycler, and place the plate inside. If you are using this model of plate, please ensure that the pressure pad is seated correctly with the brown side up before closing the lid. Once the lid is closed, please refer to the worksheet for the loci enhancement PCR program.